And we're live! Hello everybody, it's Those Aren't Biscuits! You want to introduce us, John? You do the intros these days, don't you? I'm cool.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of Those Aren't Biscuits, your weekly live interactive pop culture talk show, where we play video games, we talk to you in the chat, and we talk about shit like comics, and music, and movies, and books, and television, and video games, and whatever.
Yep.
So, thank you for tuning in. Enjoy the ride. My name's Jonathan Cadotte, and with me as always, Owen Adams.
Hello.
Say hi, Owen.
How you doing? I'm Owen Adams. You'll be looking at my screen for today's game.
That's right.
A little,
and this week we are
poker.
playing...
Sorry, I'm talking over you. I do apologize.
Go ahead, Jonathan. You enter the show, but I'll talk the whole time.
The PSN is no Skype.
No. But yeah, if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. We appreciate you stopping in and saying hi. This is an interactive show, so you can leave us comments and questions in the chat, and we do get to them. I don't think there's been really one that we haven't gotten to yet. So, and the more of you who participate, the better the show is. But as we go, we will be talking about our chosen topics, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
Oh. So what you been up to, man?
Well, a few things. I've been playing a lot of Stardew Valley, which I'll talk about in more detail later. And I have been dreading playing poker, because I'm very fortunate this is not going to be real cash, I can tell you that much. I have never played poker before. I did the tutorial, I sucked at it. We're going to have to take it slow today, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
And
that's
I watched the new episode of Star Trek. I'm episode 3 now, so yeah. Well, I think I'll talk about those in more detail later, but I think that's a little recap of what I've been doing. I've mostly been busy working away, keeping the channel going, but yeah, I've been consuming media this week. I got some TV, I got some games. I don't got any comics, but other than that, how about yourself?
Kind of along the same way. Except I haven't been playing Stardew Valley. I've been, playing a little bit more Destiny 2. I checked out another game today called Raiders of the Broken Planet, which we can talk about.
Yes, well, we might be playing that next
later.
week, so we'll see.
Yes. And probably the big one is what our big topic for today is probably going to be is the Battlefront 2 beta.
Yes, I would definitely say so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and also, I beat up a McDonald's worker because he didn't have my Chinese ketchup. I beat him good. And he deserves it.
Give me a few seconds here. I'm just finishing up making some posts on social medias.
I believe it. I'm just doing some updates elsewhere. Hello in the chat to Happy Halo Fish. Hello to Fuzzy Weasel. How are you guys doing? Fuzzy Weasel says, detailed human face simulator. Yeah, I just got my my menu guy up. Because he's a menu guy. A menu guy. Drop in, guys, if you've never seen the show before. This is pretty much a talk show. It's a chance for John and I to talk every week on things that are interesting and new and things we do. And meanwhile, we play a game while we chat. That's pretty much what it's all about. It's the whole thing. Whole kit and caboodle. We're going to be doing some Prominence poker today, which I don't know anything about poker. I'll be totally honest. So this will be interesting. I thought all Americans played poker and smoked big cigars.
No, God, we wish. We wish you did. But, alright, we'll get right into
Such
this.
lofty dreams. A man can dream of being able to play poker and have a cigar. One day, when my ship comes in, I will own a cigar and a deck of cards and have at least 2 friends.
Yeah.
I like that.
Alright, so I'm gonna...
It's like that Futurama. So that's what life would be like if I'd invented the thing longer. A man can dream. Happy Halofish says, I have played poker, but it's so easy to forget the order of the most important sets. I guess. Well, I just tried to follow that, and I got a message that said, this invitation can no longer be used.
Let me try again here.
Are we going to be playing against other players?
I don't know. I don't know if we can actually pull that off.
Which would be really interesting. They would be required to join in the game. The podcast. So, who are you? Steve from Alabama.
Welcome to Those Aren't Biscuits. What are your thoughts on the Battlefront 2 beta?
You do not have enough chips.
Oh, shit. I know I did. My bad.
Do I know how to play blackjack? Depends on what you mean by blackjack. If you mean what British people call pontoon, yes, I do. If you mean what British people call blackjack, well, I also do, so it doesn't really matter what you mean. Happy Halofish 84 says, 21 as it's sometimes called. Yeah, in Britain that's usually called, or it used to be called pontoon. Blackjack here is a slightly different game. A less gambly game. Mm-hmm. But yeah, 21. Right. Yeah, I know how to play 21. Hello to Ashton Mojo, who says, hi, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Rogue again. Well done.
Hey.
Alright, shall I try and invite you?
That's a good one right here. Oh, no, I know what I did.
You set the buy-in really high?
Yeah. That's... Okay.
Well, actually, I have 5,780 chips, so...
Right.
I want my daily cut. Give us this day our daily cut.
I had it set at 10,000. Which seemed to be the default, which is kind of odd.
Happy Halofish says, I don't gamble, I just do it for fun or to pastime. Oh yeah, I know what you mean, but 21 is an inherently gambly game. It's structured to fit around bets and things. Whereas the British game we call blackjack is not. Lobby type friends only, so it looks like we're only gonna have 2 people. Are we gonna play against each other for this?
Oh, hold on. Are you in the... Oh, god damn it, I didn't mean to do that.
What are you doing, John? What are you doing to me? Should I go back?
Oh, okay. No, I can set the public and invite you. Do you want to do that?
Okay, we'll play against the public. You realize we're just gonna very, very badly lose, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
You're watching John Sets Up a Game. It's a weekly show where... To be fair, I couldn't figure out the settings. I'm terrible at figuring out how to do these damn things.
Okay. Maybe I can't invite you.
God damn it, John. Happy Halofish says, I shouldn't talk about this. I have no idea how gambling works. How you doing there, John?
Not great.
Are you about to tell me that this game cannot actually be played?
No, it can. It absolutely can. Alright.
So, how about that Star Wars Battlefront 2 beta, hey?
We're working on it, people. There's technical difficulties. We should have done this beforehand, but...
Wah, 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 whatever. Wah, 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 wah. This is where we need the theme music back.
Yes. That's really weird that, I suppose.
Fuzzy Weasel says, oh boy, I love this show. I like it.
You know what, Fuzzy Weasel? You settle down, okay? You just settle down. Let's see, you run an internet talk show, huh? It's not as easy as it looks.
For anyone who's new here, this is a show where we play a game every week, and while we're playing a game, we talk about stuff. We talk about the news, the latest pop culture-y topics. We have some fun. See you later, Happy Halofish. Thanks for watching, man. Do you want me to set it up, and I'll invite you?
Why can I not invite my friends now? Yeah, you set it up, right?
Well, I just almost joined a game. Oh, hold on, find game. No, okay. If I set quick play, I can't set it to friends only.
Right.
Invite friends. Invite friends. Invite friends. No, don't do that. You know what, man? I'm in too deep here. I got too cocky. I can't do this. So is this a... Okay, so we picked a game where you can't actually play with your friends. Is that what's going on here?
No, you can. We were ready to go. We absolutely were.
Oh, hold on. Right, I think I've got it. Right, do we want public or do we want friends only?
Let's try public and invite me, okay?
Okay, I'm about to send you an invite. And then we have to really, really make sure we don't have to listen to the voice chat. I don't think this game actually has voice chat unless you specify, right?
It does, but but you absolutely have to
opt in.
Oh, you bought in for... Oh, okay, good.
100, yeah.
Yeah, okay. It said 10,000 at first.
Alright, well, let's get some players
All right.
in the seat.
Yeah.
Happy hour event in progress. Drink table item boost effects are doubled. Sweet. Okay,
So if you hit go, we can start playing, and then people can jump in. There we go.
Whoa, there we go. Hello, all you people. Welcome to this. I hope you enjoy being on our podcast, people who can't hear us. You are going to be the star of the show. I think first rounds, let's just team up, John. We'll conspire.
That's not how this game works.
Yo, I don't know how to play poker. I need a head start. I've got the default clothes here.
Same here.
You're the blue hat guy?
Of course!
This is going to go great. Alright. Okay, I hope this isn't me. Whose turn is it? Do we know?
No, we're not in this right now. Because we came in the middle of a match.
That's great. They're just having a happy time. Who are these guys? All Harvey shirts here. Alright, I'm looking at my cards. Yeah.
So, like we said, me and Owen, we're gonna get right on into this. All right. So now that we're actually,
I think I'm gonna need a
here,
little bit of I think I'm gonna need a little bit of sort of getting in time before I.
Wait, I have to go all in already.
Okay, I've got an arrow and an X. Tell me what to do, John.
I don't know. It's too high.
I'm selecting an emote. There you go. Suck
I'm
my
all
finger
in, apparently.
gun. Yeah. All in or fold?
Fold.
I'm going all in. All in,
Yeah.
baby.
Apparently we all are, cause
Yeah. Feel my 5 and a jack.
I ain't got shit. I got 9 and a 2.
I don't even know what 5 and a jack is. Oh,
Ooh,
oh no! What a surprise!
Shit.
Poker, everybody!
Well done, this guy. I'm busted.
I'm busted!
Alright, I'm gonna rebuy in.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
back in.
Why did we have to go all in immediately?
No, because the asshole did it. Like,
Right.
he started out and he just immediately put all his chips in. I think.
Alex says, online poker when you don't know the rules. Please join my table. Do you know what? This might just be a good stream just to play poker and let the conversation flow a little bit more naturally.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm gonna try this. It worked for this guy, so I'm just gonna.
Okay, Oh
Going
no!
all in.
I'm folding. I
Going
fold.
all in. Let's go. Yeah. I play for fucking keeps.
It's like Austin Powers. Sir, you have 9. I also like to live dangerously.
Oh, pocket kings.
I think we know
How about
who's gonna
pocket
win.
aces, you son of a bitch. Screw your kings. Damn it. Damn it.
What is this emote about?
Come on, ace. Come on, ace. Yes. Yes. I'm the best poker player ever.
Poker! Fuzzy Weasel says, I want to sit with the cool kids. Hope you guys are having fun. This is a weekly show we do where we talk about stuff and play a game. The game might be taking up a little of the early time today because neither of us actually know how to play poker, so...
Alright.
Oh my god, this is nothing. Sorry, I'm not even bluffing.
Sorry. Alright. So I think we're kind of getting the hang of this a little bit.
Place a little bit of bet.
Oh, you raised. You raised 2.
Yeah! High stakes,
fuck
man.
this guy. No. I'm not.
Fold. Is he gone all in again?
Yep.
8 and 6. Oh, my 3 and 9 could have probably done as well as that.
I had a 9 and a 6. Fuck these guys. I probably would have won.
I don't even know what a 3 and a 9 does. Like, what a... It would be a lot better if there was some guide you could pull up that would tell you what the sets are, right?
Oh, and you have a cell phone next to you?
Good plan. Flush.
If these guys keep going all in, we might just want to bounce out and just play with ourselves. I mean, by ourselves.
I beg your pardon?
Sorry.
Alright. Let's give it a go. Is this how everybody just plays?
So, okay. We have a show to do, Owen. So let's... You and I have both been playing the Battlefront beta, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you tell us what you think of it right off the bat?
Well, you know, I was disappointed at first, but actually it's really growing on me. I did not feel like it felt very much like the original Battlefront, first of all, and actually now, it is starting to settle with me over time. I don't think the beta grabs me the way the original Battlefront beta did. I don't sit there going, yeah, the beta is so good, but I think it's okay.
It's one of those things where... Oh, I don't want... It was just one of those things where I think they picked kind of a not a great mode, you know. Just, I mean, the mode's fine, but it doesn't really show off the same sort of.
I think it's a balance of. I think it's a wrong combination of mode and map, to be honest.
Like, for me, I think there's an issue of... It's like if the very first concert you ever went to was, like, the Led Zeppelin farewell concert, you know? And it's just blows your fucking mind away, and you're just like, holy crap, Led Zeppelin, and da-da-da. And then, like, the next concert you go to is Dread Zeppelin, which is the...
Judge Dredd playing Led Zeppelin. There's a lady who shall...
Well, have you ever heard Dread Zeppelin? They're a reggae band fronted by an Elvis impersonator who does Led Zeppelin songs.
Oh, is it just me? I don't really get the betting system. I don't know how this is changing my bets. Okay, so this is not normal poker. I wouldn't know.
This is Texas Hold'em.
Fair enough. Yeah. Og says it's nothing. It's played against the 5 cards drawn on the table that count in everyone's hand. Okay, makes sense. Two pairs.
You have U2 cards. Yeah.
Right. So everyone has the same cards drawn in the middle, and then what you have counts.
Right. Yep.
With what else? So yeah.
I love how when people leave, they just, like, disappear through the floor. Like, farewell, my subterranean planet needs me. Whoop.
Isn't that how normal people leave poker?
I'll call. Yeah, it's when you call, you just mean you're matching the highest bet at the table at the time.
Right.
Oh, fuck this guy.
Fold.
Alright, well. I'm gonna call, because I have the money to do so.
I don't.
Yeah.
And that money on the bottom left, is that the pot or is that your money?
The thing that looks like a bullet hole, that's yours.
Right, and then the little pot is the, that's how much, how much is up for play, right?
Right.
Fuzzy Weasel says, so these are real people. Unbelievably, yes.
Yeah.
I know they look and behave like Sims, but, you know.
Come on, give me something. Damn it. Whatever. Suck it.
Okay, it says, this guy's ruining it. Going all in prevents you from seeing any of the cards on the table and trying to continually bluff people. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
But we might as well
form.
just play for a little bit while we're adjusting.
Yeah. So, okay. Battlefront, it's still good. It's still a really fun game. And, like, me and Owen, we played some today, and I think we both had a really great time.
Yeah. I liked it more today than I have on any previous session. And I still think the production values are really good.
Yeah, it's like, it's really beautiful to look at. Like, those damn leaves in the Naboo map. It's just like, it's I feel like the creepy kid from American Beauty. I'm just like, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Did you just go all in?
I figured if he's gonna do it, you
have
might as well
4.
give it a go.
Like,
I've only got... My all isn't that much, you know?
right.
But I also feel like I might have something better than I've had before, so... It was a gamble, I'm gonna take it. Because don't we kind of force other people to go all in as well?
No, they only have to match yours.
Oh, shit. No! I'm gonna stand here the whole game now.
My legs are tired.
Well, I have something. Not a great something, but I have something.
Right.
I think. Nobody post in chat what I've got. Shh, everybody.
They might be watching.
I don't have anything worth having, by the way. I've got a pair of aces, but we'll see.
Whatever.
Like, it doesn't matter if
well.
I say so now.
Right. Oh, he has a pair of 6s. You have a pair of aces. 2 5.
Yay!
Hey, you won it.
I
You
win!
won 12.
2 pairs! Woo! Back in the game with my 12.
Oh,
He's off.
Cowboy Hat's leaving.
Oh, I'll see you later. Sorry, buddy. We're getting too rough for you now. Now someone else is going all in. Captain Cowboy. Let's do this. No, so I liked it. The thing I like about it is I like that it certainly feels like the production values are still there. It still feels like a really big, meaty game. Okay,
Right.
I'm gonna call. I'm gonna stick with calling. Keep my bets nice and small today. I haven't even checked my cards yet. Okay. But there's nothing on the table yet, so it doesn't matter that much. Oh, baby! Papa needs a new pair of feet! Let's do this!
All feet. It's like, I need new flip-flops, apparently. They're $5 at Walmart, but I need a new pair.
Oh my god, this ghost has just arrived.
Yes, he looks like a Confederate war ghost. We would have won at Little Bighorn, but them damn Union soldiers came out of the woods.
So without trying to give it away, I know this is a game of bluffing, but yes, I thought I had something there too. Yay! Okay, so long as it's a pair, I've got it. If I have to work out something like a flush, I'm screwed. So, yeah, Battlefront 2 beta, I like the production values. I like it still feels very genuinely Star Wars. That strike level is based on one of the few locations in Force Awakens where I think you could set a really good mode. You know?
Yeah.
It's set around Mars's castle, which is... Mars's castle. Maz's castle, which is a good place for a mode. Although it does feel quite a bit smaller than it did in the film.
Well, yeah, they had to make it decent.
Huh.
Huh. Well, I got a pair of aces.
Yeah, way!
But yeah, no, it's... I think I felt the same way you did when you started, when we first started. It was like, oh man, did they drop the ball on this? Like, it wasn't really. And then I had a match where I did really well. And I know it sounds bad, like I only like games I'm good at. But like. But yeah, that's kind of what it took. Like when I was just knocking droids down left and right.
I didn't actually mean to do that.
Oh well.
I thought I was checking again, so.
Well, I hope you win.
Yeah, it came together well. No, that guy's gonna beat me.
But yeah, it's like I had this match where I was just blasting droids away like crazy. I was able to get Rey in, and I had a lot of fun playing as her.
I'm out. I'm busted. I'm gonna rebuy in.
You're gonna sit out for a little bit?
No, I'm gonna rebuy in. I'd rather play and learn. Fuzzy Weasel says, I'm not sure how this is in the game because I've never played it, but it seems like you have very little health and you die very quick. Now I'm wondering whether you're talking about Battlefront 2 or Prominence Poker, to be honest. No,
Can I just pull a gun and just shoot the person
problem
across the table?
solved. Oh, is he going all in?
He is.
I'm folding. Yeah, compared to games like Destiny and Overwatch, Battlefront 2 is a game of not having a lot of health. You are going to come up against people, and if you don't react fast, you're going to get shot to pieces. Quick.
Right, and kind of like Overwatch, it's not... The point isn't... I guess the point isn't... I mean, you want to live as long as possible, but... Honestly, like, as long as you can keep throwing enough bodies at the objective, that's kind of what you want to do.
Right, and I do like that often a win condition is how many deaths you've had. I mean, that often is the win condition in these games. But instead of setting you at, when you reach this many kills it ends, and you never know how many away you are necessarily, they've set it specifically to, when you lose this many troops, you lose. And I thought that was actually a really good way of structuring it. What I do like is, I think a lot of the stuff around the game is better. A lot of the stuff with unlockables and things like that. I don't love the pay-to-win loot boxes, if you know what I mean. I don't love loot boxes for actual stat-affecting items, but I don't think the system's too bad myself. It doesn't bother me too much.
Right.
I'm calling. I'll stick with calls.
Everyone, just remember, if you're in the chat, please hit those like buttons. It does help us out, especially being kind of a smaller show at the moment. So, hit them like buttons.
Do it,
and
hit the like buttons. Fuzzy Weasel says, yeah, I think you should have more health in poker. Me too.
Like, I'm out of life. He just flopped dead on the table. Is he all in? He looks like he's all in. Yeah, I'm folding.
Yeah, me too. I got nothing.
But yeah, it's like, I think like the beta for Battlefield 1, goddamn, Battlefront 1, kind of, and to kind of keep with the poker theme, showed its cards right away. It was It was like, this is what we got. This is our big crazy mode. Look at it, enjoy, go crazy.
Well, like I said at the time, I would have paid $10 for that beta, for the content in that beta, happily.
Mm-hmm. And this one, I think they're kind of playing it more close to the chest, because they keep on talking about how much more that this game has than the first one. But then, like, their beta, they showed, like, even less than what the first beta showed.
Yeah.
So, it kind of leaves me hopeful, right? Why'd you stay in?
I don't know. I want to see if a queen and a king becomes anything. I told you, I don't even know what the hands are. I don't know how to play poker. I don't mind. I've got plenty of cash to rebuy in. It's fine.
Right. And it's not like we're going to make a big career out of playing this game.
Yeah, I'd rather make a few mistakes and learn how to play and get a good idea of what beats what, you know?
Right. So you unfortunately did not get a lot of opportunity with the heroes.
No.
Right?
No, I didn't play. I only played Darth Maul in the arcade mode.
Mm-hmm. Like, I got a chance to play most of them. And,
oh, hold on. I did get to play Boba Fett for 2 seconds. Does that count?
I remember you were so excited about that, too.
I was thrilled.
Yes, I got Boba Fett! And then the match was over.
And apparently I've got an American accent now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. In your impersonation of me.
Oh, right. Or maybe I have a British accent.
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, it's a West accent. It's a West England accent.
Oh, Oh, do you come from West England?
Yeah, I come from Westingshire-burg.
Have you seen that picture going around of the baseball game that was only released in Japan? That's got all those names. The developers had to make up some American names. It's got all these names that a Japanese development team thinks sound American, and they're all very
it just
funny.
Just real quick, or do we have the YMCA team going on here?
I think we're doing pretty well with the YMCA team.
The village people, like we got the biker, we got the cowboy. We just need a Native American and a sailor.
I'm going to find this picture. I'm going to read you some of these American names that were from this this Japanese baseball game.
While you're doing that, I actually got a chance to play with most of the heroes.
Oh, damn, I've gone all in again without thinking. Cancel! Cancel! I've got all in or nothing, haven't I? Oh, I don't know what to do.
You can cancel out.
I've cancelled out. I just don't know whether I should fold or not.
Well, you might as well fold now.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, everyone just bailed out.
Oh, what did he have? I had a pair of aces.
Nothing. He had nothing.
Oh, damn it. Oh well.
But yeah, I got to play mostly heroes, and I will say that I think the hero stuff is actually better in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely got the feeling that in Battlefront 1, you kind of got a hero, especially if you're playing as one of the Jedi, Luke or Vader, where you would just kind of run in and start just swinging around willy-nilly, and you could just kill.
Right.
And this one, though, I think the health is a little bit more strict.
They're certainly weaker than they were.
Yeah, like they take way more damage. And they give them some, in my opinion, more interesting...
That works as well, though, because it used to be very rare to get a hero in Battlefront 1.
Right. You get more interesting powers. Like with Rey, she has like a charge ability that like hurts everyone along their path. But then she also has like this insight thing that basically pings people on the you know what?
Pings people on the you know what. Uh-oh. Do you know what? I'm going to see him. I'm going all in. I think I've got a hand that might deal with this.
Yep,
might
I'm
not,
going all in.
But I'm going for it. Okay, so these American baseball names from this Japanese baseball game are Sleeve McDykel, Onsen Sweeney, Daryl Arcadelo, Antoli Smorin, Ray Musgriff, Glenallen Mixon. They're pretty great. Tony Smeherick. You going in?
Oh, I went all in.
Let's do it. I like Mike Truck. Damn it, I'm out.
Hey, I got some of it.
Well done.
Yeah.
I'm going in, why not? Well, I had Jack, Queen, King, right? And an ace.
Yeah.
And I was like, if an ace can go at the end of that, do you know what I mean? Some card games it can.
Right.
I thought it was worth a go.
So yeah, like, Rey has, like, she can ping people on the map, and then she also has it's called Mind Trick, where it just, like, basically dazes everyone in the room, where it's just kind of like, and you can see them, like, wandering around. Like, it's clear that the players are trying to keep control, but I've actually never been on the receiving end of it, so I actually don't know what it looks like. But
I don't think I've been on the receiving end either.
When you use it, though, like, the effect is legit.
And that's what that game needed. If you're gonna go...
Yeah.
These days, the shooter where everyone's basically the same is kind of phasing out. shooters where every character's got a little bit more personality, and that comes through more in random events, is kind of where it's at, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you see it with, you know, like stuff like Overwatch and Borderlands and things like that. And even, you know, Destiny, to an extent. So, yeah, I think it's actually pretty good. And above all else, that Starfighter stuff is so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
Takes
fun.
a little getting used to. But once you do
I think they could legit make a budget title with just that.
Yeah,
they never
definitely
would, but
it would work.
I think, yeah, well, absolutely. If they put out like a $25, like $35 game that was just those modes, I'd be
right.
way on board.
Give it a little bit of a story, you know, and then give the missions. Give a single player structure with a few missions with a little bit of phases, you know.
Right.
A few cutscenes. Keep it budget, but yeah, it would be really great. I think.
Keep it classy. I mean, those who have listened to me play, those who have listened to me play games before know that I get kind of excitable at times, where I've listened to me playing that, I sound like I'm a goddamn lunatic. I'm just like, oh, you fucking die! Oh, get some! Oh, you ain't gonna kill me! Get some! Oh, fuck you! Fuck! Oh, I'm pro Damro now, motherfuckers! Woo! And I just go nuts. Like, that's because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's because it's so fun. Like, I was talking to my buddy who said that he, you know, played almost exclusively the Starfighter stuff in Battlefront 1. And I was like, really? Like, it was good, but I don't know, I didn't think it was enough to carry the whole game.
Right. I played
this
exclusively...
version, I think, feels like it could.
I played almost exclusively Walker Assault. Now, I'd argue that could have carried an entire game in Battlefront 1, but... Oh, what is this thing where you gotta quickly choose something?
What?
Don't you get this at the end where sometimes it says, pick something fast, and you gotta choose...
Oh, right. It's do you want to show what you had, or if you want to just hide it?
Oh, okay. Fair enough. I'll take it. No, I totally agree. It took me a while to gel with it. I think the problem with the beta is I don't think there's a great selection of modes here compared to the last beta. And, like, I hate to harp on about it. Like, I don't want to be that guy who's always bringing up the same thing, but I really did like that Walker Assault Hoth battle. That, to me, I don't think there's ever been a better demo for an online game, in my opinion, than that. Which is why it always surprised me the game didn't sell that well.
Oh, are you all in?
Yeah, I'm folding.
Yeah, I'm out.
I don't see any point in trying to... When they go all in, what's the point? You'll either... Unless you know you've got something great already.
Right. I mean, and the chances are he doesn't have anything really, but he this is what he wants. He wants everyone to kind of bounce out. You know. Yeah, see, like...
Already.
Yeah, he didn't have nothing. He... Like, I honestly could have gone in and I have better hands in both seats. I have a jack and a king. Oh, and there's that pair of queens. So...
Right, he had something, but he didn't even know he had anything.
Right, he got lucky. Yeah.
And sometimes it's worth doing that, but when people are doing it all the time...
Right. And the guy's like, fuck this shit, I'm out.
Yeah.
Gonna keep playing cheap on fake poker. Fuck you.
So one of the things I'm going to be interested in seeing the final Battlefront 2, and I think they've actually they kind of kept the content fairly close to their chest, what's actually going to be in the final version, right? Like, we don't know a huge amount of it.
Well, we know that there's definitely going to be a story. That's been their big thing that they've been talking about.
Right. But in terms of the multiplayer, do you think we'll see much overlap with Battlefront 1? Like, I don't think we'll see any of the same maps. But, for example, do you think there'll be a Hoth battle, right? Because Hoth battle was a big feature. Or do you think they'll tend to mostly stay away from stuff they've covered?
Or, like maps-wise, or modes?
Well, kind of both. I mean, like, do you think we'll see I think what we'll see is that Galactic Assault, the mode that we have in this version, this beta, I think we'll see that encompass some modes that are the same as Walker Assault, right? But what I don't think we'll see is AT-ATs on Hoth again.
Right.
Which I think is kind of a mistake, because that's such an iconic scene that leaving it contained to the one people didn't like is maybe not the right choice. But for you and I that played a ton of it, do you really want to play... Like, if I want to play a really great Walker Assault Hoth battle mode, I can go play the game I've already got, you know?
Right. I can... Here's what I'll say. I think it'd be good as like a DLC pack.
Right.
If, you know, maybe not right off the bat, but, you know, maybe 2 packs on the road we have, hey, classic maps that we've now redone in order so it fits our new game modes, you know?
Right, and I would love to play that again, I can't lie. Like, I still love that mode. I'm never gonna get tired of playing that. Oh, damn it.
Oh. Owen.
I was just trying to check.
Right, we gotta pay attention to, like, what he's raising.
I know. Oh, mind you.
I'll call you, son of a bitch. I ain't scared. Because what could he possibly have?
I don't have a chance of bluffing you, though, because you would hear me going like, oh, damn it! Ah, shit! I really regret doing that!
Yes.
Get wrecked! Ha! Ha ha! Ha ha!
Well, I had a pair of aces. I had a pair of
Behold my-
falls. No, mind.
Behold my blue... my...
Well, I keep getting
My blue
challenges
afro.
like, play 10 hands. Lose 10 hands. Die.
Yep, will do.
Suck at poker. Ashton Moby in chat says, I just
On it.
realized if you play through Assassin's Creed Black Flag, you get exclusive outfit of Altair's robes. I think you have to actually unlock all the stuff, though. Mind you, that's one of the few ones where I did, like, most of the stuff. Just because it was fun to sail around.
Sail away, sail away, sail away.
No, I don't get to play anymore.
Whoopie-doopie-doo.
Boop-a-doo. Rory, how would you like it if I tore down your lights? Boop-a-doop-a-doo.
La-di-da-di-da.
You're a nice guy.
So, like I said, I wasn't kind of sure about what I was going to do with Battlefront. Because if you tuned in a couple episodes ago, you know that I just recently bought a car, and that is really kind of messed with my finances, so I have to be much more careful with how I spend money.
Right.
So I wasn't sure if I was going to buy it or not. But honestly, these last couple days, after I had that one match where I just was doing really well, I think I'm in. I think I am absolutely on board, and I'll probably try to pre-order it within the month.
Be nice. I don't think they will do this because it's going to be a really scripted affair, but it would be nice if we could get a co-op campaign we could play online for something, you know? It doesn't even have to be Battlefront. Can we have a big game we're both going to play, come out with a co-op campaign, please?
Well, you know what? They might. Because it's scripted, but you're playing as a unit.
That's true.
I mean, I don't think you're going to be playing as
I'm
going to
be the centimeter.
Like, I'd be really surprised if you actually play as her.
I'd like that. I don't really have much here. I'm calling just to see if something else comes in, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's raising. I will also raise.
call.
But so I mean, it might happen actually. You know, although at the same time, like, if that was the case, like, how kind of terrible would it be though? Because you'd have this one character who's going to be in all the cutscenes and everything like that, and it's like, and now you, the faceless person in the background of everything, you know?
Yeah. It'd be kind of sad.
You know, it'd be like cutscenes of her doing something awesome, and just like you in the background is running around, like shooting in the air, like
Yeah, like Tag and Bink again. Whee!
Right. I would play a Tag and Bink game. I would absolutely play a Tag and Bink game.
I want a game based on Crimson Empire.
Oh God.
I hate that comic.
I've been doing really well here.
Crimson Empire is the kind of Star Wars comic I really don't like. One of those ones that's like, hey, here's a guy we saw in the background for 2 minutes. Let's give them a magnum opus that is really deep and dark and gritty. And it's like, no.
Remember my game idea of having the guy who just watched ships come in and out of the... Like, that's kind of what that's always what happens with Star Wars, like, Extended Universe. Like, okay, we need to find one guy... how about the stormtrooper who hit his head on the door on accident?
Right, and there are some really great Star Wars comics out there, actually about the crew of the Millennium Falcon, right? The actual characters from the Star Wars movies doing stuff after the films, having adventures. There's one, it's dark and gritty, it's called Dark Empire, but it's actually really good. You know, it's great, right? And it's fine. And yet, what do we get? Hey, you remember this robot that appeared for 3 seconds in... Yeah, him. 6-part miniseries.
Right.
I actually really like the Jabba the Hutt miniseries, though. It's actually really, really good.
You know, I honestly got really into Shadows of the Empire, that whole lore for a while.
Well, I read the novel when I was a kid.
Exzior, or something like that.
Prince Shizor.
Shizor.
Yeah. Terrible character. And that robot, what was her name? Gurney? Gooey? Goo.
Like, it's like, for some reason I thought I was cool because I liked Dash Rendar. You know?
No, we all had our moments of liking Not Han.
It's true, too. Like, he was absolutely Han Solo, but they're just like... But he's not.
When I was a kid, I was obsessed with I had this, you remember when we were kids, CD-ROMs were coming in, and so everything had, like, multimedia encyclopedia, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I had one for Star Wars Behind the Magic, which is the Star Wars trilogy, and it was like, you've gone down Wikipedia rabbit holes before, you know, they can be quite fun. This was that before the internet.
Right.
But what it would do is, on every sort of page, there would also be a trivia question, and you'd get up to 600 trivia questions. So you go to C-3PO's page, find the trivia question, and some voice acting would read you out a trivia question about that thing. And on the Millennium Falcon's page, the trivia question is, what did Luke Skywalker say upon seeing the Millennium Falcon for the first time? And one of the options, because they were all multiple choice, was, hey, that looks just like the Outrider. And I always remember that. I always remember that was one of the questions.
I mean, like, I thought Dash Rendar actually had a kind of cool, like, design.
Right. I liked his backstory. You remember his backstory?
Not well.
The Rendars were actually a very prestigious family. A family of trained, prestigious Imperial pilots. And then his brother accidentally crashes the family trading ship into one of the Empire's favorite statues on Coruscant, and he has the whole family basically cast out to outlaws, hunted down and sent from the city, banished. And thus Dash Rendar becomes Han Solo as a result.
It's like, oh god, what can I do now? I guess I could work and try to rebuild our reputation. or I can become a scruffy nerf herder.
The funny thing is, if you read the
Scruffy nerf herder, it is.
if you read the Shadows of the Empire novel, it's really weird because the novels come from that kind of period where characters want to. A lot of writers wanted to kind of fix things and make the Star Wars universe more realistic. So there's lots of references to time spent alone on the ship, cooking and doing things that you need to do that they don't show on films, like go to the toilet.
Right.
Except every time they reference it, they call it going to the fresher. And every time it comes up, it takes a while, like a few attempts to pick it up contextually what they're talking about. Well, I'm just gonna pop to the fresher, and then you're like, what is this term? Is this a real term?
I like to imagine like Chewie just coming out, just. I am not plunging the fresher again. That is on you. All right.
I just imagine Chewie coming out with
get a fur ball matted with shit out of this fucking drain. Like,
I just imagine how much TP Chewie would actually have to use to like, cause he's gonna have to like clean fibers, right?
Right. It's like, is Chewie taking another shower? Trust me, it's better this way. He comes out wearing the shower cap, holding a little rubber ducky.
He's tapping it on the nose.
Yes, everyone, if you are in the chat, please drop us some comments or questions, or really, and it doesn't even have to be on topic. Just what you got, we'll comment on.
Yeah,
so,
hit those like buttons.
So you're still on board with Battlefront 2?
Yeah, I'm keeping my pre-order mainly for the campaign, but I think the multiplayer is going to win me over in the end.
Okay.
I mean, it's no Destiny 2. Don't get me wrong. But it's also not supposed to be. Can I just say, though, I would love a game set in the Star Wars universe that played like Destiny. I would take that right now.
Well, you know what I remember? Do you remember, what was it? Was it Jedi Outcast 2, the Jedi Academy? Or is that its own separate game? Jedi Academy?
Jedi Academy is, yeah, it was part of the Jedi. It was a sequel to Jedi. It was... Dark Forces 2, Jedi Knight 2, Jedi Outcast, and then Jedi Outcast 2, Jedi Academy. Crazily, that was how that went.
Right. It was a third-person one where you played as a Jedi.
Well, you know, you could run that one in first person too, because in Jedi Outcast you could also play that in first person or third person. You went to third person automatically when you carried a lightsaber.
Right.
So whenever you had a lightsaber, you went to third person. Jedi Academy was third person because you always had a lightsaber. You know what I mean? But it was the same engine. It's kind of a weird way to do it, I guess.
That I felt was kind of almost proto-Destiny-like, because when you played multiplayer in that, like, you could spec out your Jedi with different abilities.
That was one of the first games I remember where you would customize your character in the beginning, and then the way you customized your character would be how it appeared in cutscenes.
Right.
And they did that thing where they gave your character a gender-neutral name. So whichever gender you picked...
right, it was always like Sam. Or...
Yeah. I think it was something like Jaden.
Yeah.
Hello to Sam Foreman, how you doing?
Hello, Sam.
Fuzzy Weasel says, is your channel picture saying A, a cookie is not a biscuit, or B, a cookie is a biscuit and you are not biscuits? All of the above.
Yeah. I mean, really, just... What do you think it's saying, Fuzzy Weasel? What sounds right in your heart?
What does it say to you? That is
It's
the
like a
meaning of
Rorschach
art.
test. Like, what our like channel name means to you says a lot about who you are as a person.
It's like a Rorschach test. It's a fascist superhero.
I just said that.
Keep asking you questions. I was riffing on you, John.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's like Rorschach the hero. It's gonna break your fingers, and then at the very end go, do it! What are you waiting for? And they get incinerated.
It's a Rorschach test. It's ripped off by old Jack Kirby characters, but everybody calls it really original. What is this? It's Captain Americash.
Marrakesh.
So you what? You represent Marrakesh? No, I'm Captain, and I represent a Marrakesh. Only one.
Yeah, I'm the Marrakesh. I'm one of many Marrakeshes.
Captain Marrakesh. Yeah, I like him. It was like Captain America's little cameo in Thor 2. Oh, I was thinking I've seen Thor 2.
Yeah, I still haven't seen that. I'm going to watch it before Ragnarok for sure. Cause I want to see Ragnarok, but I don't want to be missing out on anything.
It has my favorite actual like Avengers crossover. Such a little one, but it's one of my absolute favorites. I won't spoil it for you. It's worth watching.
Is it Thor going, "Good God, we need help. Please, Avengers, help us," and Captain America going, I'm gonna go listen to the Beatles.
It's actually more of a gag than that, if you know what I mean. It's pretty good. I can tell you if you like. I just say what it is, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure, go for it.
He, at one point, thought Loki's in prison, and he breaks Loki out of prison for help. And Loki's spending the whole time taunting him. So he says, "Oh, would you prefer one of your new friends?" And they walk past a pillar, and when they pass the other side, he's taken the form of Captain America, and he's like, "Truth, justice, the American way, honesty, pride. I love this body. Everything's so noble." It's just very funny. Just use it in just a short scene. Just completely makes fun of Captain America. It's kind of nice.
Yeah. I do like how in his own movies, like Captain America is like this really serious and awesome character, and everyone else's movies they make fun of him.
Right. Right, because Captain America has to deal with way more traumatic, long-lasting shit in his own movies than the Avengers deal with in the Avengers movies.
Right.
Well, at least I haven't been completely wiped out of the game for a while.
Right. It's always good.
Hit those like buttons. We're playing a little bit of Prominence Poker, and we're talking about topics and stuff. So, on the subject of topics...
Fair, I'm actually enjoying this game.
Yeah,
I
me
am
too.
actually enjoying this.
I'm terrible at it,
I actually
but
like
I'm
the look
enjoying
of it a lot.
On the subject of other topics, I actually watched another episode of Star Trek Destiny. And it was unbelievably different. I'm not going to go into it too much because I know you're going to watch it. Sorry, Star Trek Discovery. I've been playing so much Destiny lately. It's taking stuff over.
It's weird. In the middle of the episode, this giant white ball showed up out of nowhere. Oh, wait, that actually happened. That was in Journey Home, or the Voyage Home, or whatever.
Whales! Wouldn't it be great if inside the Traveler it's like, "I've come to Earth to talk to the whales."
We already saw this one. Oh, really? Shit. I've come to speak to the porpoises.
What I love
We're still kind of whales.
What I love about Star Trek For the Voyage Home is, it's like, well, when it didn't get a message back, it wanted to know what happened. And I was like, wait, the whales were, like, sending interstellar communication back for a while? How advanced are these whales? Like...
That's something they definitely don't, like, follow up on. It's like, wait, well, hold on. Are you suggesting that we've been kept alive from this horrific thing because of the whales? Is that
right? And then we take these two whales that are right on the peak of whale extinction, right before they're totally wiped off the planet in that universe.
No, the last two.
Right, last two. To answer back, right? And why do those whales go, "We've been through some shit, man. Take us and bomb the planet. Save us." It always reminds me of that Futurama where the aliens come to get the rest of the TV show Single Female Lawyer.
So, Fuzzy Weasel real quick says, minutes before deciding on a channel name, two drunk men shared a spoiled biscuit and decided from that day on forth they despise biscuits. Thus the channel was born. I don't know whose idea it was to add John.
Don't say really spoiled biscuit. That's disturbingly close to soggy biscuit. I don't want to go down that line.
The funny thing is, you're not far from the truth there, Fuzzy Weasel. It was literally minutes before we decided to record our first episode, back when it was a podcast. And we're like, wait, what are we calling this?
It was a good day.
And I'll have you know, I've always been a part of Those Aren't Biscuits. It's only 2 of us. So, unless you're suggesting that Owen was talking to some random-ass person before... Hey, what should I call my podcast, stranger? I don't know. Those Aren't Biscuits. Sure. John, we're having a podcast called Those Aren't Biscuits.
Forgive the background noise. I'm having to shake my drink. I'm drinking a fiber supplement these days, and if I don't shake it, it solidifies. If I forget about it. I've forgotten about it a bit, so now it's like a jellyfish in a 500ml bottle. Have you ever seen those jellyfish that you can actually put in a blender?
Suck it!
You can put in a blender, and then when you put them back in the water, they reconstitute into a jellyfish.
Oh, yeah, those things are cool. Terrifying, but cool.
Tip, though, if you go playing amateur biologist, make sure you get the right jellyfish.
Yeah?
I'm just saying is all.
Like, make sure that it's...
The one that can reconstitute
strawberry?
itself. If you get the one that can't, it's not good. Alright, let's see. So yeah, I watched a new episode of Star Trek Discovery, and I'm liking it.
Yeah.
I was uncertain with episode 1, and I liked it a bit more with episode 2. I'm actually liking it more. I'm watching it with my girlfriend now. She's catching up, and she has. Oh, god damn it! It's not what I meant to do at all. Hopefully, someone will call my bluff.
Raise his hand like, "Hey, watch this shit. It's great. Look at this. Yeah, hey, you're gonna watch. Woo!"
So, Star Trek Discovery, this 3rd episode, those first 2 episodes are clearly a pilot movie, right?
Sure.
The 3rd episode actually introduces most of our regular cast and the setup that's going to take us through the rest of the series, clearly. And it actually gets a lot more Star Trek-y. It's set on a spaceship that is actually traveling somewhere. It's not like a single encounter, you know?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it's actually really kind of getting to a more traditional thing. There's still an ongoing mystery going with it, but unlike the first 2 episodes, it is a single story within that episode. It starts to feel a little bit more episodic. It is a case of the spaceship gets a distress call, goes aboard a ship, finds a thing they didn't expect, and investigates, right? That is the plot of that episode. And it actually feels a bit more like traditional Star Trek. It's still closest in tone to Enterprise, which doesn't bother me, but will bother other people. But it's actually getting really nice. And we actually have the Discovery now, which wasn't in the first 2 episodes.
What makes it more in tone with Enterprise?
Well, firstly, there's a way that Enterprise is written that is more modern than other Star Trek shows. Like, immediately right from the start, with Enterprise, they tried to bring the way people spoke closer to present-day humans, I think. They got rid of that kind of... Because if you watch Star Trek Next Generation, there is a very sterile way to the way people talk. You know what I mean? And it's a little bit less in Voyager, and it's a little bit less in Deep Space Nine, but it's still very much that world. With Enterprise, they try to bring it closer to real people, present day. It has that, definitely. And it has other kind of things to it as well, which is, this is a ship with more conflict on it, and people... there's a feeling that humanity isn't quite as enlightened as the Next Generation era yet, you know? They haven't quite...
They still got some issues going on.
Yeah, they haven't settled into this brave, perfect future that's coming, in a sense. Mm-hmm. And that's very much in play here. We have, for example, we're introduced to the captain of the Destiny, because the Destiny is the ship we're going to spend our time on. Discovery, sorry. And that is not introduced until episode 3.
Giant white ball again. Where the fuck does I think he's coming from?
that set of characters isn't introduced until episode 3. And, for example, the other thing is that there are characters we don't see. We've never seen on Star Trek before in this. there is, for example, the captain of the ship is a shady figure who's sort of determined to do anything to win this war that Michael Burnham has accidentally started, you know?
Specifically Michael Burnham?
Kind of. I mean, not really, but I don't want to go into too many details because I know you're going to watch it, but she is integral in the beginning of this war, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. That's the character's name. I thought you were referring to the actor. I was like...
So, and then, for example, like, there's almost like a comedy neurotic roommate.
Oh, good. That's just what a show needs.
Well, it kind of works.
Who didn't replace the flusher paper?
It kind of works. And it's very strange. I mean, it's much more hostile as a show. It's a much less friendly atmosphere. There's a greater feeling of danger. And at the same time, it's still trying to find its feet. It's definitely a show that is currently caught between... It's got a very difficult job of bringing Star Trek back and doing what it really wants to do, which is have everybody go, well, it's just like old Star Trek, but it's new and modern and great. And also doing new things. So it's got a very difficult job of trying to recapture that old TV Star Trek feel, and not just original series, but they want the Next Gen fans, they want the Deep Space Nine fans, they want the Voyager fans, they want the Abrams movie fans. This show wants to be too much for too many people, and that's where most of its weaknesses come from, kind of an inconsistent tone. But then it also does really interesting things. So, for example, in the pilot, there's an alien that seems to be almost a comedy alien. Like the running stereotype seems to be that he's genetically a coward, right? And yet, as the show goes on, he's actually a remarkably well-rounded character. He's interesting, but he's not human. And so, his personality
type... obviously inferior.
No, not at all. He speaks English, and he communicates his feelings, right? So you get to know what he thinks and feels, but his psychology is not human psychology. And it's based on... Not in a way where you're supposed to sort of feel ashamed of him, if you know what I mean, or look down on him, but his entire personality is based on caution, right? Because that's his species history. And yet...
And see, I like that idea, actually, because that was one of the things that's always been a problem with Star Trek, is how they basically show other aliens who think differently than humans. Like, it's always so on the nose. Like the great relationship between Spock and Kirk only exists because of really lazy writing with Spock. Of like,
and to be fair,
I'm
kind
Vulcan,
of fantastic acting.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They landed it well. No, I agree.
But sorry, go on. I don't mean to keep talking over you.
Well, no, it's okay. It's difficult on the PlayStation, but still they are preserving this theme I talked about last time of, this is a show about different cultures traveling together.
Right.
I meant to do it this time. It absolutely is a show about characters who come from different backgrounds and have different standards traveling together, because this character, Saru, who is an alien whose psychology is based on caution, he's traveling, despite all that, he's a part of the Federation traveling on an explorative deep space science vessel. Do you know what I mean? So, no matter how cautious he is, he still has this,
Hey, well done, sir.
He still has the desire to do these things. He's still overcoming his natural tendency to want to stay safe and far away, you know? But in the same way that humans challenge their own natural tendencies. But he's also surrounded by people whose personalities are dominated by different things, you know? His initial captain is a soldier. His next captain is kind of like a Black Ops figure who has their own agenda. A soldier explorer, a first officer who's a logician, you know what I mean? And
so I'm curious if at a certain point, and maybe this is just me being cynical and jaded when it comes to like writing on these shows, do you imagine there's going to be a point where they're going to be in this situation that requires a bit of risk, you know? And he's just going to be like, well, contrary to my species and how I feel, I say fuck them. And, you know, something like that, you know?
Well, I don't know, because his role on the show is interesting, because he is basically the science officer early on. Mm-hmm. And then the pilot movie kicks things off, and then the third episode is set a little later on, so things have changed by the time you get to that point. But
right.
he's a scientist. He's a consultant on scientific issues. And he doesn't want to do things like away missions and things like that. But they really do the feeling of giving you an idea of someone who you would think who is totally unsuited to be a Starfleet officer, but is a trained and qualified Starfleet officer, therefore can do these things, you know? So he's an interesting character. There are a few other characters. Some are less interesting. The captain of the Discovery, who's played by the I think it's Lucius Malfoy. I was talking about him the other day. Played by that guy. I don't know where that character's going to go. And things like the Discovery is this basically secret vessel that's working on something to win the war. The mystery and the story around what they're actually working on is actually a really fascinating concept in itself. You know what I mean?
Right.
It gets to the heart of, if you were doing a secret mission to win the war against the Klingons, but you were also still Federation officers with Federation principles, what kind of dangerous, weird project would you be working on? It actually kind of works. It's a really interesting show in that they've actually, in my mind, they've done a very good job remaining true to what Star Trek's all about, while finding an opportunity to do things that Star Trek's never really done before, like have annoying characters and insecure characters and cowards and warmongers, you know?
Well, that was always kind of the really fun thing about Deep Space Nine, right? It had all, you know, it really lived and died on these extraneous characters. I mean, because I like Sisko, don't get me wrong, I really do. But his role was always not the most interesting thing on the show.
And he was very often, like, he was the captain who was most often put into a support role on the show. Mm-hmm. As well.
And, I mean... And it's funny because I think it was very clear that they tried to make a anti-Picard, but not Kirk. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, and what they did later on was, I mean, have you seen the episode where, it's a very lengthy episode where Sisko discusses the implications on, and ultimately decides to, fabricate evidence to bring the Romulans into the war?
Right, yeah.
It's a terrific episode. But you would never have got it from Kirk and Picard. Because ultimately the story of Sisko is a Federation captain who eventually loses faith in the Federation. Never joins the Maquis, but loses faith in the Federation. Yes, that was deliberate. Give me your kudos. Full house. Hello to Lamp Documentaries. How you doing?
You know what you get? You get finger guns. Bam, 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 bam.
I wish I could do that Destiny emoji. You know the fall.
Hello, Lamp. Well, welcome. And as you know, or as you may not know, this is an interactive show. So if you have any questions, any comments, anything like that, feel free to leave them in the chat, and we do read them, and we will talk back to you.
I'm going to be really cocky.
We are currently playing Prominence Poker, which is actually a pretty fun little poker game. And Owen here won himself a few rounds, and now he has Mr. Big Britches.
I don't think it's good. I don't know. I have something.
He has something, folks.
He's folding because I won last time, so he's like, well, he's obviously not a careless all-inner.
Well, I have double your money, so I'm gonna stick with it. Although if you win this, it will absolutely change the tide.
I don't think I'm gonna win it.
No, you will. I think you absolutely will now.
Hey!
Yeah. You know, you beat me. Yeah. Yeah, you are now firmly in the lead on the table.
2 all-ins in a row.
But no, we're just currently talking
Dr.
about
Zhivago
Star
here is
Trek
looking very cross
Discovery.
about it.
So, if you have any thoughts or comments on Star Trek in general, or anything with stars in it, Star Wars. We talked about Star Wars earlier.
Star Tours. If you're interested, if you're interested in knowing where Marlon Brando lives, he's dead.
How do you feel about Stargate? Not Stargate issue 1, just the movie Stargate. I don't know.
Or Marlon Brando's fence, Star's Gate.
Or the controversy revolving a star, Stargate.
Or the controversy involving the movie Stargate, Stargate Gate.
The controversy surrounding the stars of Stargate, Stargate. Yeah, the 2 people who just left. I would have left too after that. Oh shit! I thought that was another club. Shit! I thought I was going for the flush. Oops.
Fuzzy Weasel says, "Why am I still here?"
Fuzzy,
I don't know,
why
it's a
are
great
you still
show.
here?
Because it's terrific.
You won with high card. You won with the highest card.
That was you.
Oh shit! That's me. Yes.
Thought I was bad.
You get rep like crazy here.
Alright, let's see what we got. So yeah,
no,
Star Trek Discovery.
Fine,
Now,
Lamp.
you said you are planning on watching it
here.
kind of when it hits that mid-season break, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to you spoiling here, because I don't think I'll remember a ton of it.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, I don't want to go into it too much, because I actually don't think it's the kind of show that benefits from that kind of discussion. The interesting thing is here, and I feel like the show is going to get criticism it doesn't deserve, but really, what I actually feel like is, this is more of a mid... You know when mid-range video games come out? This is a mid-range show. You know what I mean? It isn't Battlestar Galactica, or Breaking Bad, or Better Call Saul, or Westworld. It just isn't that kind of show. It feels more like Arrow or The Flash. You know what I mean? Like, I like The Flash a lot, right? But The Flash is a mid-tier show, right? Would you agree? In terms of budget, writing quality, star draw.
I also would have put Battlestar Galactica there, too.
Yeah, no, you're right. Battlestar Galactica just turned out to be a very good one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's in that space. And that's okay, I think. I think I can do this. 3 of a Kind's usually a good one, right?
Yes. I am playing for something I should not be playing for. I'm playing for the straight, which they tell you never do.
Fortunately, thanks to my luck in recent rounds, I can afford to keep calling this without going all in.
Right. Oh, shit. I'm out.
I'm gonna go for that 3 of a Kind. I've got 3 10s. I'm gonna...
There you go. Now you got a full house. You're now Bob Saget.
I don't get why Full House is a thing, you know?
Well, it's a 3 of a kind and a pair.
I guess.
It's better than 2 pair.
I was watching,
better than a 3 of a kind.
It's one of my favorite type of videos to watch. It really shouldn't be, but like hilarious answers on game shows. Like, I love watching terrible Wheel of Fortune solves. You know?
Right.
And there was one the other day that was...
I love bad.
It was a streetcar, NA, blank, ED, desire. And the guy came up and he was like, K!
Yes,
a streetcar, naked desire. And the host was like, well, you got it right, but I wanted to see Steve's play more. Oh, don't worry about it, Lamp. He was only kidding. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Drop in the chat, guys. Say hello. We do take questions in phases. So, I did Star Trek. I don't have too much to talk. We talked about the Battlefront beta, the Star Trek show, which I think is getting more like traditional Star Trek now. I have a feeling this is not going to find its fan base straight away. And I think we were talking about last week why CBS had basically sent it out to die on the streaming service. I have a feeling that's not what they've done. I think they know that Star Trek, no matter what Star Trek, does well on DVD. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, Enterprise is sold perfectly well. You know, so what they might as well do with it is, whatever happens, the Trekkies are a very invested audience, you know? Mm-hmm. They really are. They are an invested, happy audience who will happily watch and talk about Star Trek Discovery, whether it's good or not, you know? And I think it is good enough. So I kind of think that they know all they need to do is just keep making it. Put it on the exclusive streaming service, because if you put it on Netflix worldwide, I mean, it's on Netflix in the UK, but if you put it on Netflix, it's not going to be a huge draw. So put it on the streaming services, on their streaming service, get a little bit of a pull, put it on DVD, and it will do fine, you know? And they might as well just keep making it, give it time, and in
you son of a bitch.
in 5-10 years, someone will say, my favorite Star Trek was Star Trek Discovery. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Even if it doesn't get it this year. And then it'll keep selling DVDs, and it'll keep selling everything, it'll do fine. And I think that's their plan. I don't think they're sending it out to die. I think they're actually doing something networks very, very rarely do, which is just trusting that if they budget appropriately, in a decade, it'll have made its money back.
Right.
Which I wish more studios would do.
Right. And I think also, I mean, I know it's stuck right now on the CBS streaming service, but that doesn't mean it's always going to be there.
Right.
Right. I can very well see them give it, you know, like a year after the season's over with, throw it out onto Netflix.
Right, or Hulu, or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what?
Because it came out recently that in the UK, the Star Trek show that's been... All the Star Trek shows came on to Netflix last year, right? In the UK, they weren't on before. And it came out recently that the show that's been rewatched the most in the UK, and has earned the most for Netflix, presumably by extension, has been Voyager. And Voyager was always big in the UK. It just didn't do that well in the States. And unfortunately, that tends to control things, you know? If it doesn't do well in the States, it doesn't get another season. And it's a real pity, because Voyager was fine, you know?
Oh, Cowboy's leaving. Away! I do love that.
I always imagine that underneath he's like, you know that scene in the Super Mario Brothers movie when they go down the pipe on the mattress? You know?
I like the idea that when you disappear, it's just like a fire pit down there. It's like, yay!
Like Austin Powers, I'm really very badly burned.
Can you send me a Band-Aid?
If someone could just open the hatch.
Oh, good! Someone's come to save me. Hello.
You shot me.
You shot me.
You shot me right in the arm. I don't know why that's always so funny, but it really is.
It really is.
And probably Will Ferrell's least annoying performance.
Mm-hmm. We got a question from Ashton here. This is a question for both of y'all. Do y'all prefer earbuds with the little rubber things or without?
You know what? I think that depends very, very much on whether they are supposed to have the little rubber things. Because
yes,
without, they hurt.
Now, are you talking about like the little rubber things that go into your ear, or like the little rubber things that like wrap around your ear?
I think he means, do we prefer in-ear headphones or like the old style, the old 90s style, before the in-ears became common? I used to find the in-ear ones very awkward, but I've grown to love them.
I like them because they're what's cheap and available. But honestly, if I had my pick, I would probably go with like full ear covering, like noise canceling type ear.
Right.
You know, like a Beats by Dre or a what was it, Skull Candy. You know, those kind of things that just kind of go completely over your ear.
But I am glad, because I totally agree, but I think it's very tiered. It's the cheap plastic ones with no in-ear or over element at the bottom, then the in-ears, then full over-ears, right? I'm glad that the in-ears have replaced the cheapest ones as the standard option.
And I'm not exactly sure what you're trying to say
Sorry,
there,
Sergeant
Lamp,
Pepper.
but be very careful with what you're going with there. We do joke around quite a bit on this thing, but we do not have any sort of tolerance for racial comments. So be very
I don't really
careful
understand
with what
that
you're going
comment.
with
I'm
that.
hoping it's not going anywhere unpleasant.
Oh, well, that's a good call there, Lamp. It's...
Yes, I am British Gamer. This is the channel John and I do together. It's good.
But yeah, I guess I don't really have much else to talk about here. But
It's quite short this week.
Yeah, well, the thing is, for those who have been fans of ours for a while know that me and Owen tend to try to comment on sometimes social things. And I think maybe just briefly we can talk on some of the ridiculousness that happened the last couple of days involving a certain sauce.
I mean, the thing is, it's one of those things where everybody's said all there is to say about it, but it still seems ridiculous. For people who don't know, McDonald's brought the Szechuan sauce back as a special promotion, one-off, to capitalize on the fame of the Rick and Morty meme. They didn't supply a lot of it. It was an extremely limited promotion, probably deliberately to get a bit of hype going.
Sure.
And a lot of Rick and Morty fans turned up and started giving a lot of very underpaid McDonald's workers a really, really lousy time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it seems to me like the divide here is pretty simple. You are either a normal human being who thinks this is a ridiculous, shitty way to behave, or one of these people who refuses to ever consider your own actions and doesn't give a crap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I don't know. I just...
Right, well, have a good one, Fuzzy Weasel.
I don't know about you, but I just feel like we've been in the same situation so many times before, talking about, hey, look what a ton of shitty fans of something on the internet did today.
Right, I just don't understand this mentality anymore, where it somehow feels like as long as you're part of a group, and not even like an official group, you know, just this idea of like, oh, we're all fans because I'm part of this fandom, this unofficial association based around something that everyone kind of knows about. It gives me like license to do whatever the fuck I want. I don't get it.
No.
You know? I just... yeah. I didn't know exactly where we'd go with that topic, but I just wanted to touch on that a little bit. And yeah, Ashen, I get what you're saying now. I don't particularly prefer the earbuds. They do kind of hurt, but I'm also not going to be like, no, I'm not wearing them. Because, like I said, they're cheap, and, you know, if you lose a pair, you're out, $5?
You guys are all younger than John and I, so you won't remember that headphones when we were kids were rather large bits of plastic covered in foam. You had to jam in your ear and get a carpet burn as you pushed the foam in. And then, like, within 2 days, the foam was lost. The little foam cover was gone. And you had bare plastic going in your ear.
Yeah, it would just disappear into nothingness. It would just... I mean, I know where it went. Like, our skin has absorbed so much of this foam through the pores.
That was the... until recently, that was the cause of hearing loss. And you just get these... And they were the worst because you'd be on a bus with people tutting behind you because everyone could hear your music. They didn't seal it in at all.
No. It was... Oh. It was the worst. And because you always had those, like, assholes who would... Like, you're on a field trip or something. You're like, oh, all right, we're all going to the planetarium. It's gonna be great. It's an hour drive, and that whole hour you had to listen to that asshole sitting next to you who thought Evanescence was a really good band. So you're sitting there, and
all you can hear is...
You're just exactly. You're just like you're bumping on the bus. You're getting sick to your stomach. It's like, oh god, I hate this. And next to you, all you get is, wake me up inside. I can't wake up. Wake me up inside. It's like, oh god.
This is around about the time. What was it? Someone said. I wish I could remember the comedian that said it, but they were talking about. It was on. It was Russell Howard recently on a show called Room 101. They were talking about kids being entitled. They were like, they've got MP3 players now. If we wanted to take 300 songs around when we were a kid, we had to get a Discman and walk around like we were butlers. And he put his hand out like flat. And he was like, carry him around like this.
Because that skip protection never fucking worked.
No. But God, did they advertise the skip protection on the back of the box? Which
oh yeah,
this is 300 times jitter reduction, skip protection. No, you breathed on those things, and they would throw a hissy fit.
Oh yeah, like oh my god, it goes 30 seconds in advance. So if you bang it, it'll still keep playing because it has it saved to the RAM.
And then 30 seconds later, it'll go.
Yeah, and you always did the same thing with your friends when you got that Discman. It's like, dude, it has skip protection. Watch this, and you flick it. And it's like, oh, and I don't know what happened there. I don't think I turned it on. Here, let me turn it on real quick. Flick. Oh man. I don't know. I guess the Aquarius is in retrograde and there's solar flares. That's what happened.
I liked the period where they started advertising Discmans that would play MP3s. They were like, it's a Discman MP3 player, by which they meant if you put a CD full of MP3s on it, it will then play them from as badly as badly as if it was on CD. It will play them.
Remember when they started advertising the MP3 disc?
Yeah.
This CDRW actually can hold 1,000 songs, but they're all MP3 player. And if that disc had just the slightest of scuff on it, you wrecked 500 of those damn songs. Like, it was gone.
I remember getting an app when I was a kid. It was a piece of software that was amazing. It was specifically set up to calculate how many MP3s you could put on a CD, and it would burn them in like WAV file as Redbook audio.
Right.
And then it would burn them as audio CDs. And then so every so often through my life, I'll be going through like a pile of old CDs, and it'll be like, June 2004, and I listen, and it's like 5 Matthew Good bands on repeat, and I was like, I was the worst. Like, I could have filled this with like 30 different songs, and what did I pick? Matthew Good Band and Alice Cooper's Poison twice, just so I don't have to skip it.
I had this run where I found all these old CDs of mine, so I played them all. I'm like, why in God's name did I put Gray Street by Dave Matthews Band on all these fucking CDs? Every single one of them, I put that song on there. It's still on my MP3 players to this day. It's a good song. I like the song, but I don't know why I feel compulsion to put it on every fucking media I can get my hands on.
If I die without ever having heard your cool device, your lips like ice again, I would be a happy man. I listened to that song so much as a kid, and now I'm like, you know what? Alice Cooper's kind of the worst. Like, He did tell a story once. He was on a show. We do a show called Nevermind the Buzzcocks. And it's do you guys have these comedy panel shows where I've probably asked you this before, where like celebrities compete in game shows, but they aren't really game shows. The idea is just to tell jokes. We do. You know.
We had one recently that was actually pretty popular, but they canceled it anyways. That At Midnight. Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that.
I don't think I know that one.
Chris Hardwick hosted it.
Yeah. I know the kind of show. Yeah, it's like they're like that. I mean, we do one called Room 101, which is where celebrities will talk about things they would like to like remove from the universe by putting into Room 101. You know. And they have to argue for why they want that particular thing to be removed. It'll be things like, you know, rude waiters, you know?
Right.
But there's one called Nevermind the Buzzcocks, and it's a music-themed one where celebrities, usually they'll get each team, they have 2 teams and it's the same comedian hosts every week. And then on that team they'll usually get a comedian and a musician. And they get some quite famous people on. And then for a while it was a different musician hosting it every week. And they had Alice Cooper on once, and he was saying that he once went to a party in the 70s, and Elvis was there. And Elvis comes up to him, and Elvis knows him, and he was shocked. He was like, "Oh, you're the guy with the snake, right? I wish I thought of that." He's like, "Oh, cool." And he says, so Elvis takes him into the kitchen in the back, and he gives him this gun. And he says, "Look at this is a pretty fine gun." And he was like, and I was torn. And the one time my brain went, "Dear God, put down the gun." He was like, and then another side of my brain went, "Shoot him." Be the guy that killed Elvis.
I mean, to be fair, like, like if he already had a successful career as Alice Cooper, and then shot Elvis, right, he'd be famous as fuck. Like,
oh my God! Heard, I'm playing against me.
Oh God! The horror! The horror! Oh, you can spin the camera around. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, if you spin it around so you're behind me on the table, I can actually see the Traveler with a pair of four little legs just stood there.
It has awoken. Hello. That's what they never told you, is how the Traveler got around on these planets. Like, it didn't float. He would descend on a planet, extend these 4 little legs, and go.
Yay! Well, I am winning consistently. It's pretty good. I was losing horrendously really for a while, and then I've been kind of top player for a bit, which is nice.
I wonder if there's like some rubber banding going on. Not to discredit you in your wins, but
yeah. In any minute now, I'm gonna get the blue shell.
Just come flying in from this skyscraper across the way. Just
takes out the other player like bam.
Oh man, I ain't been getting nothing. Like, just absolutely nothing.
This guy's sulking because he realizes we're the same design. Look, he's like, no.
Oh, I thought I was a unique. I thought I was okay being the default character.
Not gonna play. No.
No. No. Not until he changes his shirt.
No. You know what? This is our busiest episode for a while, which has been kind of nice. People come.
Yeah, it's been really nice. Yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. We're not quite done yet, or maybe we are. Who knows? But yeah,
do we have much else to talk about?
Anyways, yeah, make sure you keep hitting those like and subscribe buttons, though. You know, the bigger this channel gets, the more fun we have. At least I don't know about you guys, but let's be fair. We haven't cared about our audience in a long time. We're having more fun because there's more people.
I only care about my pleasure. Is that what you're saying, John?
Pretty much.
I was going to talk a little bit about Gerald's game, but I feel like that's, mind you, that's probably a more appropriate thing than the than my normal streams. I'd really recommend you watch that movie. By the way, it's not a it is a horror, but it's not a horror. That actually sounds
delicious, Ashton.
Traditional way. Ashton says, "I'm eating chicken and dumplings with some tuna in it."
That sounds alright to me.
Yeah. Not often you combine tuna and chicken, but you know what? I think they actually go together really well. Because tuna's that kind of fish.
You know what's actually really tasty? If you ever get a chance to, I mean, over there, do you have like Kraft macaroni and cheese?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take Kraft macaroni and cheese, make it up, and then get a can of tuna. Drain it and just throw the tuna into the Kraft mac and cheese. Mix it up. It is amazing.
Do you guys
so
have the
good.
Do you guys have the Chipotle Kraft mac and cheese?
I'm sure we do.
It's delicious. I had a microwave meal. I'm a microwave meal aficionado. I don't care. I had one the other day. It was a tuna lasagna. It was lasagna with diced tuna instead of beef. It was actually really nice.
Oh, that sounds alright.
Yeah. I like a bit of fish in the right place, you know?
I don't like how they generally like pair tuna up with stuff, like in those microwave or box dinners, because they never like for some reason no one thinks that tuna and like cheese go well together.
Oh, but it
so
so
always,
does.
It really does. And so you always get these things where it's like, oh, it's egg noodles and this unidentifiable white gravy and
yeah.
tuna and peas. It's always peas. They always throw fucking peas in the tuna shit.
Yeah, I like, when I was a kid, we used to have tuna risotto, which was what my family called tuna risotto. It was really just like boiled rice with tuna, peas, and carrots, you know? But it was delicious.
Yeah.
But man, a tuna and cheese, toasty. Delicious. Have we established what a toasty is? I don't know. You guys have toasties?
Yes, yeah. It's a grilled sandwich.
Yeah. Usually done in one of those presses.
Right. Good.
So good.
So yeah,
I want one now.
I'm kind of out of topics myself. I didn't get a chance to watch Blade Runner today. I wish I would have. I'm gonna try to shoot for next week.
Are you looking forward to it? I'm curious.
I am. It's one of those movies I've always seen from the peripheral, and it's like I've always been interested in it because if you guys saw me talking about Westworld, you'll know that I have a really, really deep appreciation for shows and properties that kind of deal with the idea of consciousness and what is alive and what isn't, and what deserves rights, and it kind of like really how that relates to the human mentality. Like, I mean, like, I'm not gonna look at my can opener and be like, what does this say about me? But the idea of like,
I am now.
I'm gonna go get my can opener ASAP. Tell me about me.
So I'm really sad that now you're gonna watch Blade Runner. You should, because I think you might like it. Although in my experience, Blade Runner is one of those movies that can be disappointing for people who go into it after years of hype. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But that's any big hyped movie. But I'm really sad that...
I mean, I fully accept the possibility that it's one of those situations where it's the fan base who adds all the deeper meaning to it and not necessarily the property itself.
Yeah, I can go with that. However, I'm kind of sad that the Total Recall TV series is basically impossible to find. Because if you do
that
like
was a fucking TV show?
There was a Total Recall TV series that started in 1999. It ran less than a season, and it didn't air the whole season. Apparently it is on Hulu. I don't know, I'm looking at this. It was a Total Recall TV series that when you watched it, like, the dominant feeling was, wow, they really, really, really wanted the rights to Blade Runner and couldn't get it, huh?
What other Philip K. Dick property can we get?
But apparently it is, like, I've seen it, and I actually really liked it. Because what it's about is it starts off with the story of a growing number of people who show up believing things like they believe their kids to be missing, and it turns out that their kids, like, grew up and left home years ago, you know?
Right.
And it's these recall vacations that are actually going wrong. But it leads to this greater conspiracy of absent memories, and yeah, it's actually a really interesting TV series. It's a cheap sci-fi series from 1999, so it looks rough, but I remember it being quite brilliant at the time. I don't think anybody watched it though. Funnily enough, we've got a new Philip K. Dick TV series going on here at the moment. Yeah, and it's actually an anthology series. Bryan Cranston was in an episode. So
really?
each episode it's called Electric Dreams, and yeah, there's a thing here where Gizmodo said they got a headline here that says it isn't a TV show; it's a series of 10 movies, but it is basically a Philip K. Dick anthology series where each of the short stories is adapted as like a full, long, kind of big budget episode.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
they're doing that with Stephen King as well.
I hope
they're
they do
making an
Lawnmower
anthology
Man
series. Well, I don't think they're all going to be adaptations of his properties, but what they're going to do is they're going to make original content, but pull characters and like scenarios from his stuff.
All of them the clown. It'll be like
yeah, all of them the Lawnmower Man.
It'll be like the that old Freddy Krueger TV series. Pennywise the clown will introduce, hey kids, this week. But yeah, it's so it's a British TV series, apparently. So it is actually originating from here. But yeah, it's got being written and produced by Ronald D. Moore, Michael Dinner, Bryan Cranston serving as an executive producer and stars in one of the episodes. Episode writers including Tony Grisoni, Jack Thorne, Matthew Graham, David Farr, Dee Rees, Travis Beecham. So a lot of good people working on it, adapting these individual episodes. I haven't actually watched any of it yet, but they're doing episodes like The Commuter. Have you ever seen that one? Or ever read that story? Where that guy meets a guy on the train and tells him he's like the most important. He can never go home. Things like that.
Right, he has to stay on the train. Yeah.
All kinds of things.
Isn't that kind of what they loosely based Snowpiercer off of?
There is one. There is one that is based on Philip K. Dick. I wonder. I think they're going to do the one that was based on what is that film? Screamers.
Oh God! Have you ever seen that movie? The original one? Oh man, I remember as a kid watching that and loving it. I loved that movie.
Oh, wow, they're doing Kill All Others. And that's written by Dee Rees. Sorry, no.
I honestly think that... Because, unfortunately they made Screamers in the kind of same era as... It came a little bit later. It's hard to... I guess it's kind of hard to explain. I think it was like a mid-90s, late 90s thing.
Oh, The Commuter's
really
not that one.
Hard.
The Commuter's not that one. The Commuter's the one where the guy gets off the train in the town you can't normally get to. Doesn't appear on the map.
Oh, right. Yes. I know what you're talking about now. I read that story. I don't remember much of it, but... But no, Screamers, it definitely... I don't think it ever got the budget it deserved, so I don't think it got theatrical release. Or if it did, it was very limited. But it's not bad. It's really not bad. Do you know the premise of Screamers?
I like the story that Screamers is based on a lot, but I've never seen the film.
So, the idea behind it was they're on Mars, or was it Mars? It's some planet that they're on that's not Earth. And essentially there was this massive conflict. And kind of like instead of mines, they just filled these battlefields with these subterranean robots that would emerge and just rip people to pieces. And the conflict finally stopped because everyone would end up just isolated from each other because these fucking screamers are just fill the landscape. And but these guys are kind of tasked with having to cross the planet to get to a new place. And as they go, they realize that these screamers are kind of taking on new forms and new like programming and methodology, and they can't really figure out if like someone is doing this to them, or they have kind of taken on the idea that they are going to eradicate life on this planet in any way they can.
It sounds kind of fascinating.
Yeah, it's actually kind of neat. I mean, yes, like I said before, I might be putting more meaning into it than it actually is there. Because it is a low-budget sci-fi movie. But I think they keep it grounded enough where you don't get, like, a jarring bit of terrible CGI. It's like, oh, God. You know? Yeah. It's pretty grounded so that you're kind of playing with concepts and not necessarily an actual thing.
The one Ronald D. Moore's writing is actually one of my favorite Philip K. Dick stories. It's Exhibit Piece, which is the one where the 20th century historian from the future, the expert in 20th century history from the future, keeps finding the history changing, and you don't know if he's misremembering it or things keep changing, and then eventually start to hint that he's actually traveled through time and changed something, but they don't properly establish it. You know what I mean? They don't make it clear.
Right.
Which would be, I would imagine that would be impossible to make to adapt.
You know, say what you will about Philip K. Dick or Stephen King or, you know, all these other authors who, you know, that have... Oh, shit. I didn't realize it... Shit. Oops. I didn't realize it. I thought it was on the last hand. The quality may wane from story to story, but you kind of have to admire just the level of output some of these authors have. Or it's just like, oh man, what am I going to do today? I feel like I'm going to write an award-winning short story. Bam! There you go.
Have you ever read the Philip K. Dick? These days it's so easy to predict where it's going. I wish I could remember the name of it. But it's the Philip K. Dick where a guy sent back in time to kill the Messiah. Basically,
yes.
Not Jesus, but he's sent back in time to kill a guy who goes on to become this Messiah figure who formed this new religion and rose from the dead. And everybody saw him rise from the dead and come back a few days after he was shot, and he ends up, through the use of time travel, forming the legend himself.
Right. Oh no! You know what I'm thinking of? There is a movie out there. I think it was actually German. It was like a TV miniseries, where this like team of archaeologists, they discover the tomb of Jesus. They discover his tomb, and so there's this big deal, and they make this excavation attempt, and they get inside. And when they're inside, they discover a camera, like a handheld, like handy cam, wrapped in plastic. And, you know, of course, it blows everyone's mind. Like, who got here before we did? You know, what the hell's going on? And there becomes this big conspiracy, and this big, like, you know, this evil corporation shows up, and they want the camera. And in the process, though, the data gets corrupted. Right? So they can't actually watch the footage on the camera. They have to, you know, run it through a bunch of analysis and shit like that. And basically what happens is this same corporation that is trying to get this camera has also developed time travel. You know, as you do. And it was actually the first time I ever heard the concept that with time travel, because like, oh, time travel is easy. It's pinpointing the location. That's the tough thing. Because, like, yeah, you can send someone back in time, but unless you're also sending them to the place where they should be, they'll just end up in the middle of space. Right?
Right.
And so they send this guy back in time to Jesus, you know, when he, you know, was supposed to be rose. And you realize that, like, he's the one who brought the camera back. And, I don't know. It was long. It was a very long movie, because I think it was a TV miniseries, but...
It sounds good. In concept. Weirdest TV movie I ever saw.
It did kind of devolve towards the end because clearly the creators are also big, Christian fans as well.
Right.
And so the last act is kind of this big,
Come with me, Jesus. I'll save you.
It's basically this whole idea, like the guy sees Jesus rise from the tomb and he, falls to his knees and weeps and cries, and Jesus puts his hand on him and all, that sort of thing. Everything's in a big bright light. And
have you ever seen the movie where the gritty cop becomes Nostradamus?
No.
I saw it once. We used to have a channel here called the Universal Channel, and they showed Universal movies. It was a Universal Movie Channel. But it was one of those movie channels from the relatively early days of cable where the movies they would show were just the dregs. The ones that they weren't going to be making a lot of money out of on VHS, And
okay, I am going to say, though, this next hand, let's just all go in, because we gotta have to wrap up. I do have to be somewhere.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
20 minutes.
Let's do it. I can do that. And so I saw this movie on it one of these days, and it was about a police officer who was investigating cases of spontaneous human combustion, right?
Okay.
And he starts to find evidence that, with the help of his ex, who is, I think she was a medical examiner, he starts to find evidence that he doesn't want to admit it at first, but what's killing these people is basically someone who's coming in and reading this incantation that makes them explode, right? And these... Basically what unfolds is these people are people who have to die to bring about the apocalypse, right?
Right.
And over the course of this, he gets sent through this time warp. These people are coming from like an outside realm, and in an attempt to follow one, he gets sent back in time to the time of Nostradamus, where he discovers that he is Nostradamus, and when he got sent there, he got stuck, basically, and became Nostradamus. Nice. But he gets the ability to go back, but he's like, but when we go back, we're still going to be here, like, this is it, So, should we back out here?
Oh, yeah, I'm out.
He's like, no matter what happens, you are going to stay here and be Nostradamus, right? That's what's happening. But you're out of that timeline now. You no longer existed. You are here. This is your time. You're going to be Nostradamus. But you can go back and solve the case. So when he goes back, everyone you saw that he knew in the beginning of the film no longer remembers him. And he has to go in with no identity, no job. His ex doesn't remember him or anything like that. Solve this case, and then become Nostradamus. It's such a crappy, strange film. But it's such a weird film that so many details of the plot have really stayed with me over the years. But yeah, should we wrap up? Do you want to see us out?
Yeah, I'm gonna see us out. Thank you all for watching. This has been a really fun episode. We had quite a bit of chat interaction this time around, and which is what we love. It's why we do this show. We love interacting with our audience, and so if you want to become part of our regular audience, you gotta do like and subscribe. Make our channel grow. And also, as a teaser for next week, I think we're going to be announcing subscriber goal stuff. We've been talking about it a little bit here and there, but I think next week we should announce something.
Sure. You need to do your part, though, and finish watching The Simpsons.
Yes, I do. So we'll be doing that next week, so make sure you tune in for that. And until next time, I've been Jonathan Cadotte. You can find me online, which is at my personal blog, which is at johncperson.wordpress.com. Or, excuse me, johncperson.wordpress.com. Or you can follow me on Twitter, which is at johncperson. And where can they find you, Owen?
You can find me by going to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Owen Adams, which is probably the easiest way to find it. And that's about it.
All right. Have a good one.
All right. Bye, guys.